The Seven Deadly Sins for Knights of the Apocalypse is the sequel to the Seven Deadly Sins Nanatsu no Taizai, a popular anime and manga series by Nakaba Suzuki. It follows the story of a new generation of knights set years after the events of the original series. Focusing on the four Knights of the Apocalypse, these knights are prophesied to bring about either the destruction or salvation of the world, depending on their path. The main character of this sequel is Percival, a boy who initially lives in isolation with his grandfather. However, his life changes when he learns about the prophecy and sets off on a journey to discover more about his destiny and the other knights involved. This new adventure revisits the fantastical world filled with magic, legendary creatures, and familiar faces from the Seven Deadly Sins, such as the previous generation of heroes, including Meliodas and his comrades. What does the four Apocalypse stand for? These four knights each embody a figure from the biblical four horsemen of the apocalypse. Percival, Knight of Death. Main character. Percival is a young boy with an innocent and kind-hearted personality. Despite this, he is prophesied to bring death and destruction, earning the title Knight of Death. He embarks on a journey after learning about his fate, hoping to change the destiny that has been foretold for him. He has magical powers but is still learning to harness them. Lancelot, Knight of War. Lancelot is the son of Ban and Elaine from the Seven Deadly Sins. He inherits a strong sense of justice and has impressive combat abilities, living up to his title as the Knight of War. Lancelot is highly skilled with both swordsmanship and magic, carrying the legacy of his father, Ban. Tristan, Knight of Pestilence. Tristan is the son of Meliodas, the leader of the Seven Deadly Sins, and Elizabeth. As the Knight of Pestilence, he represents both light and darkness due to his unique heritage, Meliodas being a demon and Elizabeth an angel. His character struggles with controlling these powers, but he is extremely strong and capable. Gawain, Knight of Famine. Gawain is another knight whose story intertwines with the prophecy. She is known for her immense magical power, including an ability tied to the sun, much like Escanor, one of the original Seven Deadly Sins. Gawain has a strong, confident personality and is fated to become the Knight of Famine. The four Knights of the Apocalypse. King Arthur Pendragon is not the same noble and righteous figure from the Seven Deadly Sins. Instead, he becomes a significant antagonist in the story. After the events of the Seven Deadly Sins, Arthur, who was once seen as a promising and noble ruler, is transformed by the powers of chaos, a force of creation and destruction that exists outside the normal balance of the world. Chaos gives Arthur immense power, but it also warps his personality and goals, leading him to develop a more tyrannical and dangerous worldview. Arthur now rules Camelot, but it is no longer the peaceful kingdom of old. Under his rule, Camelot becomes a dark, powerful empire. He believes that the current world, shaped by the Seven Deadly Sins and other forces, is corrupt and must be destroyed so he can create a new, perfect world from its ashes. Arthur perceives the four Knights of the Apocalypse as a direct threat to his vision of the future. According to the prophecy, these knights will be involved in either the salvation or destruction of the world, and Arthur believes that they must be destroyed before they can rise to stop him. He sees them as obstacles to his plan of using chaos to reshape reality. Arthur's descent into darkness puts him at odds with his former allies from the Seven Deadly Sins, especially since some of the new knights, like Lancelot and Tristan, are the children of Ban, Meliodas, and others. Arthur's former friends are forced to confront him, creating a significant emotional conflict since they once saw him as a hero. Arthur's powers, Arthur's chaos magic makes him one of the most powerful beings in the world, capable of bending reality and controlling powerful magical forces. This makes him a terrifying enemy for the four knights, and his battles with them are among the most intense in the story. Arthur's army of knights and creatures further complicates things, as they relentlessly pursue the four knights throughout their journey. Arthur's fall from grace as a character is one of the most interesting elements of Four Knights of the Apocalypse. as it turns a previously heroic figure into one of the series' central villains. When Meliodas, the leader of the seven deadly sins and Tristan's father, arrives on the scene to help his son, it's a powerful and emotional moment. Meliodas, the former Demon King candidate and wielder of incredible demonic and goddess magic, is one of the few people in the world who can stand against Arthur's chaos magic. Percival and Tristan will need to grow stronger, both in terms of their magical powers and in their leadership abilities. They've faced serious setbacks, and Arthur's chaos has shown them just how far they still need to go. The adventure will likely dive deeper into their training, emotional struggles, and the development of their unique abilities. As the Knight of Death and the Knight of Pestilence, they hold immense potential, but they need to learn how to harness their respective powers in more meaningful ways. Percival, especially, is just beginning to understand the full scope of his magic, and the series will likely dive into his journey of mastering these abilities.